Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 15th of November 2019. So Bitcoin hovers near price support as long-term bear cross looms. And what they're talking about here, if we just scroll down, is that BTC is on the defensive and may face selling pressure in the run-up to the bearish crossover of the 100 and 200 day moving average. Also talks about the support at 8550. And the reason for this, if we look at yesterday, the market continuing to move lower there, currently trading at 8564. So finding a bit of support and at the 50 bar moving average, which they also talk about in the article. That said, the market is just drifting lower slowly. We can see that we've broken the 200 MA in the 4 hour, but we're still range bound. And as I've said before, we keep getting these sort of rectangular sideways moves, and then the market dropping out of these and moving lower, apart from when we saw the market move to the upside here as it broke out of this sideways move. So still not a lot happening, a bit more in the range yesterday, $150, but nothing to write home about. Very quiet, as you can see. Some of the bars here, they barely moved during the 15-minute period, so it's just drifting slowly. And overnight you can see prices have shaken out to the downside, more to the downside and volatility than we had during yesterday already. In the last couple of hours, $150 drop there. $150 that we can see there, but still not enough movement. But speaking of movement, yesterday in the stock market, bond yields tumbled as stocks reached longest best bull market ever. I think bull is the operative word. And the reason I mention this, before we look at the charts, the market moved up 200 points on the overnight. And this article here says it all, really. It's something I've been talking about for years as well, how it's at the moment it's buy the rumour and certainly sell the fact. Stock yuan surge after yet another Kudlow trade headline. Kudlow used to be a commentator on CNBC and for some unknown reason has ended up in the White House as a Treasury advisor to Trump. So as it says here, an exact mirror of yesterday's idiocy by which a series of headlines raises doubts about the US-China trade deal spark a rapid plunge in stocks, which is instantly bid into the cash market close. That's obviously the plunge protection team, and then ramped even higher as Japan opens on the back of the trade deal. Is close comments from someone in the US administration. US equity futures and offshore yuan are spiking overnight. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow tells reporters, "We are in communication with them every single day right now," referring to the US trade talks with China, trade negotiations over a phase 1 trade pact. And then this is him continuing, "We are coming down to the short strokes," Kudlow adds, noting that a deal is close. It's not done yet, no, and it won't be done because they're using this at the moment to spike the market higher. That's why it's not done, and it won't get done. They're using this as a means of moving the market up to new all-time highs. And for the 51 millionth time, algos panic and buy futures, which we can see here. But the best bit is down here when we come to this. As one veteran trader exclaimed, "This is becoming effing ridiculous." And it is. And let me show you why. So find the Dow, and we'll just have a look at start off with the daily chart. And there you can see the market making new highs once more on the overnight market after moving lower yesterday and then coming back, which we'll look in detail in just a moment. So market's going up absolutely nothing. The volatility is also dropping, but it is absolutely insane. So here you see comments from Kudlow and the market spikes to the upside, and here's the comment about trade talks moving not going well, and then you see the market spike to the downside, and then you see the Fed or whoever comes in and move the market higher. Same thing here, bit of a shakeout, and the market moves back to the upside. Predictable gain. We had this on Wednesday as well. So like I've said before, they will do anything to keep the market moving to the upside. You can see here that it struggled from the first part of the session, trading up to the previous day's close, then moved lower, 76% retracement, bit of a sell-off. The market's bought back. You can see the shorts getting out. Market holds above the psychological level of 27,700, back above the DP, back up to the 200 bar moving average, where we get the Kudlow comments, and then we see the market move higher following the comments to bring the market back to the upside. And sorry, these are Trump's comments, and then Kudlow speaks after the market's closed, which sends the market racing to the upside there and continuing to move higher at the moment. And do we have any news to stop the markets today? No. So the market is free to continue to move to the upside. And like I've said, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't go to 30,000. I think in the article they were on about how far. There it is here. For some context, the Dow is now over 18 points higher since Trump's said phase one of the deal was complete, which is in stark contrast to what Kudlow's saying here about they're still in negotiation and down to the short strokes on the deal. It's close, it's not done yet. So, like I say, it's all smoke and mirrors just to keep the markets on the upside there. This is the pound, and yesterday not a lot. The market started to move higher, came back, 76% retracement, traded sideways at the DP level, and the 200 bar moving average then eventually broke to the upside. But not a lot going on here at the moment. Stuck in the sideways range there for the time being. Meanwhile, implied volatility, still a crazy picture for me. I mean, it's so tight. I think when this goes, it's going to go with such a bang. The implied there, 1154 down, even though we had the volatility to the downside yesterday. And like I said earlier in the week, I've checked with iVolatility. Nothing's changed with the algorithm, how it actually calculates this. And it's just coiling. And this can be seen a lot more clearly when we look at the green here. It's just quite amazing. I've never seen this where we've coiled like this. Normally what would happen is that we would sail to the downside, as you've seen many times before, as the market goes on to continue to make new highs, as we see here. But at the moment it's just coiling, and I think that's a warning sign down the road, without a doubt. And as it said yesterday, bond yields were hit to 0.25, so we're heading back down towards an inversion at the moment, given that bonds have decoupled from the stock market at the moment. So there you go. Certainly interesting what's going on. I would expect the Dow then to continue with its move to the upside. Just get the right one back up as it's doing at the moment. There's no news to stop it, but never say never. Certainly the trend is to the upside there and heading towards 28,000, which could quite easily be achieved today, given that we're already at 27,877. And like I said before, we're up 1,800 points from this so-called deal, or phase one of the deal, being done, when in reality Kudlow says something completely different. But if you don't check the detail, then people tend to believe this crap that's put out by the mainstream media, and we see the lunacy continue. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I will let you know, but otherwise, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.